Hello, and welcome to my little corner of the internet. My name is FN. I'm joined today by my sister Jane, who is visiting with me. You will note that I've changed my channel back to its original name. After all, LWYR are just letters. You can read anything you want into them.
Thanks FN. Hello, I'm Jane. Today's video comes to us from a fraudster known as NewsNow Ninja. He and James Madison Audits are attempting a fraudit on a small-town health department.
That's right, Jane. And these frauditors are quite the chumps. We are hopeful that we can provide you with some entertaining thoughts, as well as some educational content, throughout this commentary video. Before I show the video, I have created a shorter, 2-minute music montage that includes some interesting clips, mostly of people getting tased. By including these clips from other videos, I am helping to protect myself from copyright claims. If you don't want to watch it, please feel free to fast forward through it. You won't hurt my feelings if you do. Please also remember that I am a retired lawyer, so I am no longer licensed to practice law. I don't give legal advice, I only give legal education.
That sounds fun, FN. I love seeing people getting introduced to Mr. Sparky. We hope you enjoy the video. If you do, we'd appreciate it if you would leave a like and perhaps a comment. It really helps with the algorithm, so our videos come up higher when people search out FN's kind of content.
Open the door. I'm not on.
Yeah.
Open it.
Sometimes I get so mad, there's no control. My thoughts get so bad. I might grab a bat, I don't know. My rap, my blood boils over like, oh God, here goes. I lost all feeling from my head to my toes. You said some shit that I can't let go, so just stay tuned for the rest of the show. So have you ever felt betrayed? Switching sides, see things, realize something needs change. Cause I know you got me fucked up. Let me show you what's up. Cause enough is enough. I'll take a face for a day, just to make a statement. I know if you turn me back, I'm gonna drown out and waste it. So mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back.
Back it up.
I'll do what it takes, I'm making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face to make you come take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And I ain't gon' wait till shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back.
Drop the knife now.
I'ma poke a hole for you, choking's overdue. Come at me and you won't get any older, dude. Crack your holder too. Heating
Drop
up
the
inside
knife.
of me, blood so violently. Thanks for trying me. Now it's finally time to see how this rivalry becomes a
Your
dynasty.
supervisor.
Sir, both of my hands are right.
Adrenaline wasted, so mad I can taste it. I know there's no turning back. I'll do what it takes, I ain't making mistakes like that. I'll bleed on your face to make you go take it back. I'll lose my shit, I go crazy when I'm mad. And I ain't gon' wish you would shut the fuck up real bad. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back. And now that I'm gone, yeah, I know there's no turning back.
Everything about me is fake.
Thank you so much. What was your name? Lizzie, thank you so much. You have a great day. Bye-bye.
See, this is the same signage that they had at the other place, but if you look these up, it's pretty much about private information from what we saw. If y'all find something else and I'm wrong, throw it in the comment section and let me know. We're all learning together.
Since Mr. Ninja has invited his viewers to do some research, and as he said, learn together, we will offer some education. We want to approach this in a logical and methodical manner. We researched each of the code sections referenced on the sign. All of them mandate that certain records of communicable diseases, viruses, and infections be tracked by these local health departments. Examples of these kinds of medical records would be things like positive HIV tests, other sexually transmitted diseases, measles, the Zika virus, and many others.
The stated purpose of this is to contact trace possible infection clusters so that the spread of any disease can be found and stopped before the spread becomes a widespread event. There is no nefarious intent in the collection of this data. The stated intent is to stop the spread of diseases. In addition to accumulating this data, these health departments are charged with maintaining the confidentiality of these medical records. As FN said, we have read all of the codes, but the code that he thinks explains the requirements to protect the privacy of citizens is best explained by the Texas Health and Safety Code. A link is included in the description, for your convenience.
Jane, these health departments are working under some very extreme requirements to protect the confidentiality of infectious or potentially infectious patients. In order to receive any funding from the state and federal government, they must comply with these guidelines. When a citizen tests positive for a contagious illness, they, and the people who they might have come into contact with, will come into the health department and give medical information. There is a high degree of likelihood that one of these individuals will be in the lobby of their building. This makes people identifiable. Given that the office has been tasked with keeping this high degree of confidentiality, they must walk a very fine line in balancing the rights of public access with the protection of the privacy of individuals seeking services. That's the reason they limit filming in their lobby. Since most of these frauditors are known to live stream their audits, once something goes out on the internet, there is no getting that information back.
This means that a person who is in this entry area can be captured on video that is instantly available to anyone in the world. That's not protecting privacy. This office doesn't have a choice. They have to protect confidentiality, first and foremost. Therefore, the only way to do that is to restrict filming in their public spaces.
Now that we have explained the situation and the dilemma that the health department is faced with, let me add my personal commentary. If one of these fraudsters is ever faced with possibly being infected with something like HIV, and they were in the health department to get tested, wouldn't they want their privacy protected? Can you imagine some frauditor coming in with a live camera and films them? A person who is visiting the health department doesn't want some chucklehead with a live camera putting that information on the internet for the world to see. And legally speaking, the health department is under an obligation to not let that happen. Obviously, if the frauditor wants to film himself interacting with the staff, he can. But filming if anyone else is present can't be allowed. That balances the right to film your own encounter, but keeps other citizens' information and identity in strict confidence. Thus, the policy makes perfect sense if these frauditors had cared to think about it.
Oh, hell yeah. I didn't see that. Good catch, bud.
What's going on, guys? Just Dan here.
You're not just Dan. You're our friend.
Dan the man. Oh, there's a lady. Oh.
How's it going? Yeah, I was wondering, it says your door is not properly closing. Is it broken or, like, what's wrong with it?
FN, can you tell me why this frauditor needs to know about the broken door? It's not like it's a door that he can walk through. The door is closed. I was raised to understand that a closed door meant that I was to keep out unless I knocked first. And even then, I was only allowed in if invited. If my parents' or your bedroom door were shut, I'd need to knock first. I would never walk into a business and just assume that if a door was shut but not locked, that I could just walk in. It's incredibly rude and very disrespectful.
I think just, first of all, I'm not supposed to answer any questions on camera.
Don't you just love this staff member? She hits the frauditor with a phrase they should be intimately familiar with. I don't answer questions. Take that, you frauditor.
Well, I just want to know if we're going to get it fixed or not. That's all.
And who are you?
Oh, I'm me.
I'm me too.
Oh, you're you?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
That's what I call an appropriate answer to a frauditor. I wonder if she's seen one of our community's videos before.
Yeah, do you know Mingling?
I don't.
Yeah, I heard she gives the best tongue punches to the brown eye here.
First, that was an extremely obnoxious and rude thing to say to a staff member. But it also just goes to show that these frauditors aren't there for any legitimate reasons. They want to say things that will elicit a negative reaction so that they can film it for clicks and views. Frauditors aren't there fighting for freedoms, they are there to create controversy for content. It's disgusting.
I'm just confused, you know? Yeah, this is, I'm just trying to figure out what it is y'all do here, because I don't know.
This is I believe it's a Medicaid office.
Is this a Medicaid office? Oh, okay, cool.
I also wanted to go over one thing. The signage that you have here, it has the CFRs and the law. But when we went through it, it doesn't specifically say anything about no photographs, video, or audio recording. It just says that you pretty much can't video or document people's private information, which would be like their social and stuff.
I can get you a contact number for you to contact to ask these questions specifically to somebody else.
Because I just feel like it's kind of misleading to say no photographs, video, audio. If you can do that, it should be like specified, like don't document people's private information, something like that.
It is not misleading information. In typical fashion, this frauditor didn't read the entire code section. As we have already explained, this office is under a very strict requirement to protect confidential information, even from inadvertent disclosures. Clearly these frauditards are live streaming right now. He could quite easily inadvertently scan past confidential medical documentation. So what's the best way to prevent that from happening? Limit filming. But that requires a person to think logically. Frauditards don't even think, much less think logically.
Nothing private has been.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm sorry. That's the only thing.
Spoke with?
I'm sorry?
Can I get your name so I know I spoke
I'm
with?
wearing my name badge.
Well, I can't see it.
I'll get it. I'll get it.
Turn to the side.
Desiree.
Yes.
Are you seeing this, FN? Look at how much he can zoom in and read even the smallest of print. What is to stop these frauditors from zooming in on private medical information, even though the city is doing everything it can to restrict that from happening? I'll tell you what they can do. They can restrict filming. His zoom camera violates the rule that you can film anything in public that your eyes can see. He couldn't have read her name badge with his naked and unaided eye. So this negates the argument that he can film anything that his eyes can see. This is just further proof that they don't understand what the law says. The very laws they claim to be educating people about. Don't you just hate these frauditards, FN?
Nice to meet you, Desiree.
And all of y'all from Canada?
You made me work for it.
No, I'm from Canada. He's from Jamaica. He's from Florida. He's from Canada also, but he's from the other provinces. We don't like them.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, buddy.
And he's just some homeless guy we found on the side of the road.
Yeah, they gave me a camera, and I'm just trying to learn.
Yep.
I have a test.
I'm sorry?
At 2 p.m. I have a test.
I'm not going to allow any further disclosures on why this citizen is in the health department. In fact, the only reason I included this portion was to demonstrate how a live stream can inadvertently disclose a person's identity and potentially what kind of test she was there to get. If these asshats think they are defending liberty for all citizens, then defend the liberty of others by not filming in certain places that needs to protect the privacy of their patients. Who gave these frauditors the right to disclose the identities of other citizens? And for what? Just so that they can get a couple of dollars from YouTube? That's not defending constitutional rights. Frauditors aren't fighting for freedoms, they are literally profiting by limiting the freedoms of others. This woman has had her rights violated by them. I cut that portion out, but they live streamed it. These butt munches are nothing more than disgusting human excrement.
And justice for all is happening.
America.
This is
You want to freedom?
Sir, I have been for a year and a half on COVID to do this test.
Why?
Oh, wow.
Okay, honestly,
That's too long.
I'm a doctor from Mexico.
No, thank
I
you.
took 15 years to take care of my ALS husband,
Yeah.
and I have to put my white coat. If I don't do this test now, I'm screwed.
We're not stopping anything.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's what they say.
that she's lying.
They're just making an excuse.
So I know America, I pay my dues.
I will let you know that FN cut out the portion of the video where this woman has talked about private information. I suggested that we leave the rest in our video to demonstrate how these frauditards have persisted in trying for their goal of getting someone agitated for content. They clearly aren't there for any legitimate purpose. They're just sitting around the waiting room like a bunch of homeless people. That poor woman. She has obviously endured a great struggle to legally get to the United States from Mexico. Now these asshats want to add additional stress to her life by filming her frustrations. She obviously has some language barriers. She's having trouble getting the receptionist to understand what she needs. But they don't care about that. That wouldn't be good content. But these frauditors aren't going to defend this woman's right to privacy. They don't care about anyone's rights. No, they're going to live stream her for the world to see. It's just absolute proof that what FN always says is true. These subhuman cockroaches are the worst, and they just suck off of the rest of us.
The reason why we're here is because they mistreat people. And we're
They
here.
don't mistreat people.
They do.
How would these frauditors know how the staff treats people? They aren't from here. They don't know anyone who has ever even been here before. They personally never utilized the services offered here. They just want to assume that all government offices mistreat people. If these asshats had ever been here, trying to get some actual service, and had they not started their interaction with the staff with that disgusting comment that I shall not repeat, then they would know how the staff treats a real patient. This woman, who is an actual patient, is telling these asshats that the office doesn't mistreat people. These guys are nothing but fakes and frauds.
No, sir.
Have you looked at the reviews online?
Yes, I have taken all the things.
Have you
but
looked at the
honestly,
reviews?
Yes.
The
But
reviews
thing
online.
is, you have to follow the rules.
This is rules. This is
No, this is not the rule.
Yes,
This
it
is
is.
cost. This is cost a little bit.
I have the rules right
research.
here. Let me so this is United States. Mexico's a little bit different.
Wow. What a racist comment. Can anyone honestly tell me with a straight face how this is defending any constitutional rights? How is this kind of behavior going to make the office more responsive? How is this anything but this fraud, trying to get this woman worked up, just so he and the others can film her reaction, all for clicks and views? I hope that everyone who watches FN's channel can see these frauds for what they really are. Frauds, fakes, liars, and YouTube clout clowns.
No.
Listen,
I'm in Mexico, United States, and
You're both.
No, you are discriminated by having this kind of thing.
Ma'am, this is the United States. These are public employees. Listen to what I'm saying. This is very explained. Okay? Back home, the law firm that I work for.
There are two big takeaways from that clip. First, I doubt he works for a law firm. But if he does, he at best probably works in the copy room, making copies and delivering mail. But more importantly, I'll bet they would be interested in seeing his racist comments, as well as how he harasses innocent people, as he clout chases fame and fortune on YouTube. If anyone knows where this frauditor claims to work, leave me a comment. He wouldn't have ever worked for my law firm. When I had a firm, I wouldn't have wanted a guy like him, reflecting negatively on it.
mistreated me since I was this.
They have.
Yes, because my father was
They have.
military. No, the whole system.
That's why we're here.
No, you're not here.
Yes, we are.
No, sir, because you are discussing this poor employer. When you come over here,
all you
like
have
they
to
did
do-
in the Capitol,
listen,
that's
you're-
because really, you're not helping me.
Listen, you're the loudest one in the room. Calm down, or I'm gonna call the police.
Isn't that rich? A frauditor threatening to call the police. Realistically, we know that would never happen. If he did, he and his cohorts would be escorted off the property for loitering. FN tried to tell me how disgusting these frauds were, but I didn't believe him until I saw it for myself. What horrible men these people are. If anyone should call the police, it should be this woman, because they are clearly harassing her and keeping her from doing what she came there to do.
Word, sir.
That's right, and we're here to tell
Sir.
the reviews are bad.
Sir,
It's not
that's
about you.
not the reviews. They're very subjective.
Okay, we
That's
don't want
not-
to talk about it
We're
anymore.
done. I
Just
don't
do
wanna
your
do
business.
Okay,
You're
you
busy.
have your point of view, I have my point of view,
Exactly.
I understand.
Okay.
This is America.
Yep.
You understand that with your actions have repercussion for all of us.
Absolutely, we
have
do. Thank you.
You have Stockholm syndrome from it. That's right.
This woman doesn't understand what a frauditor is. They have a one-sided opinion, and they don't want to hear from anyone who disagrees with them, even if the other person has absolute proof that the frauditors are completely wrong. They are useless drains on society. They don't have real jobs. They don't pay taxes, and they don't even live in the communities where they harass the public employees. They aren't protecting any freedoms, they are just trying to create clickbait videos. Several of the frauditors featured in this video have kids. I have to wonder why they aren't home, working a regular job, with a steady income, and providing for those kids. Instead, they act like a bunch of teenage hooligans, on a beer-fueled, spring break road trip.
They love to put statutes on there, especially about information.
Yeah, they say if they're handling confidential information related to these laws in public space where anyone could see or hear, they're breaking several laws, not the photographers.
We're done. They're not going to mess with us.
The reason why government agencies have started putting code sections on their signs is because if they don't, frauditors claim that it's just a policy and not a law. In numerous videos on these very frauditors' channels, they'll ask why the signs don't reference any laws. Then when the agency does cite the relevant code sections, they complain about it. That's childish and stupid. And you see that they finally left, because the staff refused to play their little game and mess with them. So they did the walk of shame, straight back out to their car. Do you have any final thoughts, FN?
Thanks, Jane. I do have a few brief comments. First, let me thank you for joining me today. I think it has made our video more interesting and easy to listen to. People don't have to listen to me drone on for long stretches of time. I would like to say that I think this video really demonstrates the truth about frauditors. It shows that they aren't interested in defending liberty and rights. That they only engage in behavior necessary to get their subscribers to click on their videos. Their antics are going to create more restrictions on freedoms, not less. New laws are being considered all over the country to address the phenomenon of First Amendment frauditors. I wish they'd voluntarily stop their nonsense, but so long as there is profit in it, they won't. We need to get platforms like YouTube, Facebook, and all the others to demonetize their channels. When there is no money in it for them, they'll lose interest completely. That's the end of the video. As always, thank you for watching.